Welcome to the Applied Physics channel. Today I am going to explain the Schrodinger time independent wave equation. Okay, so here the Schrodinger wave equations are of two types. Those are the time independent as well as the time dependent equation. But within this video, we are discussed about the Schrodinger time independent wave equation. Okay, so what is the Schrodinger time independent wave equation? What it is defined here? Simply the Schrodinger wave equation, either it is a time independent or independent. Okay, so it will derive or it will describe the behavior of a particle. It will describe the behavior of a particle. For example, here we are consider one particle. Okay, while we are supplying certain amount of energy to this particle, so then what happen here? It is in the motion. Due to its motion, it will be exhibit the wave nature. Okay, it will be exhibit the wave nature. That means if this particle is at the rest, then it is a normal particle only. But whenever it will be moving from one region to another region while we are applying the external energy, so then what happen? It will exhibit the wave nature. Okay, so this total all described by the this Schrodinger wave equation. Okay, so for that one we have the one normal normal equation for the Schrodinger time equation or Schrodinger time independent equation. Okay, so wave function. So wave function is always represented by psi. Okay, or chi. We can also know it as a chi. Okay, psi or chi. Okay, so psi of x. Okay, so the wave function is always represented by psi of x. Okay, so here psi of x is equals to a sine 2 pi by lambda. Okay, 2 pi by a sine 2 pi by lambda into x. Okay, so this is our wave function. Okay, so which is describes the behavior of a particle. A psi of x is equals to a sine 2 pi by lambda into x. So within this equation, the psi of x is the wave function. Okay, so and a is the amplitude. Okay, a is the amplitude of the wave. So what is the amplitude, sir? Here, for example, this is your crust. Okay, crust which we have discussed within the before classes. This is a trough we have. Okay, so what is the amplitude, sir? Okay, so the amplitude is nothing but this is the mean position of a wave. Okay, so this is the mean position of a wave. So the distance, the highest distance or the maximum displacement of a wave from its mean position. The maximum displacement of a wave from its mean position is known as amplitude. That means the distance from this mean position to this peak value, or the distance from this mean position to this peak value. Okay, so this total distance is known as amplitude. Okay, so that is about the amplitude. Okay, within that equation. So and here we have all those values. Okay, x will represent the position of a particle, and lambda is nothing but wavelength. Okay, we already discussed the wavelength is nothing but, here it is the successful distance in between the two troughs, or successful distance in between the two crusts or troughs. Okay, so the successful distance in between the two crusts or successful distance in between the two troughs, it will be represented by lambda, that is known as a wavelength. Okay, so that is about the wave function. Psi of x equals to a sine 2 pi by lambda into x. There is no time variables here. So why? Because it is a time independent wave equation. Schrodinger time independent wave equation. So that's when we don't have any time variables here. Okay, so psi of x here we are differentiate the above equation. Simply we are differentiate the above equation. So while we are differentiate the above equation, so then what happened? The psi of x will be converted as a d psi of x by dx. D psi of x by dx, that is equals to a sine. How the sine will be converted while we are differentiated? Here it will be converted as a cos of 2 pi by lambda into x. Again the 2 pi by lambda we have. Okay, so into 2 pi by lambda. While we are differentiate the 2x, then we have the x square into 2. Okay, so that's only 2 pi by lambda. Okay, so a cos 2 pi by lambda into x into 2 pi by lambda. So then we'll get the, here again differentiate the above equation. Okay, again differentiate the above equation. So while we are differentiate the above equation again, so again d psi converted as a d psi square of x. Okay, d square psi of x by dx square. Okay, so is equals to a cos will be converted as a minus sine. Okay, so minus sine 2 pi by lambda, okay, 2 pi by lambda into x, okay, again 2 pi by lambda we have, okay, so one more 2 pi by lambda here we have. Why? Because one more time we are differentiate the above equation. D square psi of x by dx square is equals to a minus of sin 2 pi by lambda into x, so 2 pi by lambda into 2 pi by lambda. Once you observe the above equation, 2 pi by lambda into 2 pi by lambda, that is nothing but 2 pi by lambda whole square, 2 pi by lambda whole square into minus sin a sin, sorry, minus a sin 2 pi by lambda into x, okay. So this is the final equation we have. D square psi of x by dx square, dx square is equals to 2 pi by lambda whole square minus a sin 2 pi by lambda into x, okay. So then after here 2 pi by lambda whole square, we can apply the square to the inner term, then 2 square is nothing but 4 pi square by lambda square. So d square psi of x by dx square is equals to, so what happened, 4 pi square, okay, so 4 pi square by lambda square a sin 2 pi by lambda, 2 pi by lambda into x. So the negative sign can be taken to the front side, okay. So minus 4 pi square by lambda square, so a sin 2 pi by lambda, but a sin by, once you observe this one, a sin by 2 pi by lambda is nothing but a sin 2 pi by lambda into x is nothing but psi of x. So that's when within the place of a sin 2 pi by lambda into x, here we are substituting minus 4 pi square by lambda square. So within this place we are substituting the psi of x here, okay. So then d square psi of x by dx square is equals to minus 4 pi square by lambda square into psi of x, okay. So this right hand term can be taken the left hand side, so this negative will be converted as a positive. So then d square psi of x by dx square plus 4 pi square by lambda square into psi of x, okay. So that is equals to 0, okay. So this is the equation number 1 we have, okay. D square psi of x by dx square plus 4 pi square by lambda square into psi of x equals to 0, okay. So but according to the de Broglie, so what is the de Broglie equation? The lambda is equals to h by mv. So that's finally this lambda value substitute within the above equation. Substitute in equation number 1. While we are substituting the lambda value within the above equation, then we will get d square psi of x by dx square plus 4 pi square by lambda square, sorry, within the lambda plus we are substituting the h by mv. So h by mv whole square, okay. So psi of x is equals to 0, okay. So then after here d square psi of x by dx square plus 4 pi square by h by mv whole square psi of x. So this mv value can be taken to the numerator. So then how it will be converted? Here d square, so d square psi of x by dx square, okay. So plus 4 pi square, so this mv can be taken to the numerator. So then 4 pi square, so it will consisting of square, so that's only m square v square by, okay. So we can have the h square, okay, we have h square. So psi of x is equals to 0, okay. So this is the equation we have, this is the equation number 2 we have, okay. So but once you observe, initially I said that here we are consider one particle and we are supplying certain amount of energy to this particle, then this particle is in the motion, so due to its motion it will be exhibit the wave nature, okay. So whenever the particle is in the motion, it will consisting of energy. How much of energy it will consisting? Is equals to, it will consisting of potential energy as well as the kinetic energy. So that's only the total energy of the particle, is equals to potential energy plus kinetic energy. So how much of potential energy we are supplying? Capital V much of potential energy we are supplying here, okay. So then how much of velocity it will be consisting? Here small v amount of the velocity it will be consisting. We are supplying capital V much of potential to the particle. So for example here this is the particle we have. So then V much of potential we are supplying to this particle. So then it is in the motion. So whenever the particle is in the motion, it will consisting of small amount of V velocity. Okay, so that's when the potential energy. So capital E is equals, the potential energy is nothing but how much we are supplying, capital V much, plus kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is always represents in the form of mv square. Okay, so that's only capital E is equals to V plus of mv square. Okay, so then after here this V can be taken in the left hand side, then E minus V here is equals to half mv square. Okay, 2 also taken the left hand side, then 2 into E minus V is equals to capital V, this is not small v. Okay, so E is equals to mv square. Okay, so then after m multiplied on both sides, m multiplied on both sides, while we are multiplying the m on both sides, so then we'll get the which one, while we are multiplying the m on both sides, so then we'll get the 2 in the left hand side, we don't have any m, so that's only 2m into E minus V, that is equals to, so in the right hand side we already have the m, so again multiplied m into m square. Okay, so m square into V square. Okay, 2m into E minus V is equals to m square and V square. So that's really here once you observe this, for example m square V square value here. Okay, so this m square V square value substitute within the equation number 2. Okay, so m square V square value substitute in which equation number? Equation number 2. Okay, substitute in equation number 2. So while we are substituting the m square V square value within the equation number 2, so then we'll get d square psi of x by, okay, d square psi of x by dx square. Okay, so plus 4 pi square m square V square is nothing but here 2m into E minus V. Okay, 2m into E minus V whole by here h square into psi of x is equals to 0 into psi of x is equals to 0. So that is the final value we got from the Schrodinger. Okay, so d square psi of x by dx square plus 4 pi square 2m into E minus V by h square into psi of x equals to 0. So again we are written it as a in the short form. So d square psi of x by dx square plus 4 pi square, 4 into 2, so 8 pi square again m into E minus V. Okay, whole by h square into psi of x is equals to 0. Okay, so this is our Schrodinger time independent wave equation. D square psi of x by dx square plus 8 pi square m into E minus V by h square, psi of x equals to 0. Okay, so this is about the which one Schrodinger time independent. Simply the Schrodinger wave equation is always represents the behavior of a particle, that means how it will be moving, either it is in the motion or either it is in the motion. Okay, or it in the rest, sorry. Okay, so in that manner the Schrodinger wave equation will derive the or describe the motion or it will be derive the behavior of a particle. Okay, so thereafter the physical significance of the Schrodinger wave equation. Okay, physical significance of the Schrodinger wave equation or Born's interpretation of the Schrodinger wave equation. So we already discussed within in the beginning only. So then what happened, the psi of x is the, so simply it is a mathematical expression. Okay, it is a mathematical expression, and so psi of x is equals to, what is the equation we have, a sin psi of x equals to a sin 2 pi by lambda into x. Okay, a sin 2 pi by lambda into x. So this is the equation we have. The psi of x is nothing but it is a wave function. So the wave function, it is nothing but it is a simple mathematical expression, but it will be represented in the form of complex numbers. Okay, it will be represented in the form of complex numbers. Okay, so again here it doesn't having any physical meaning. Okay, it doesn't having any physical meaning. Simply here this is a wave function which is represented within the complex number, and it doesn't having any physical meaning. But the psi square of x, the psi square of x, that is nothing but square of the wave function. Okay, so square of the wave function will consisting of certain meaning, so that is a probability amplitude. Okay, so that is a probability amplitude. Okay, so probability amplitude means here it will represent, this probability amplitude is nothing but here the psi square of x always represents the either the particle is present in a particular region or not. Okay, so that's when we can say that the psi square of x is nothing but it is a probability amplitude. Okay, so it will represent the particle present in a particular region or not. For example, here I am consider one region here. Okay, so this is the region. Okay, for example, here we have the one particle is there within that plane. Okay, so then what happened, this psi square of x is always, so integral of psi square of x. Okay, so integral of psi square of x is equals psi square of x into dx is equals to 1. So whenever the particle is in present within a particular region, then the probability amplitude is always equals to the 1. Okay, if the particle is not present within this region, so then this probability amplitude is equals to 0. Okay, so that means the psi square of x into dx is always equals to the 0. Okay, so this is about the physical significance of the which one Schrodinger wave equation, and it is also known as a Born's interpretation. We can also know it as a Born's interpretation. Simply here the psi of x is nothing but it is a which one, the wave function. Okay, so and psi square of x is nothing but a probability amplitude. So what is the work of this probability amplitude? So it will be represents either the particle present in a particular region or not. If the particle is present within a region, so then the psi square of x into integral psi square of x into dx is equals to 1, and if the particle is not present within that region, the integral of psi square of x into dx is equals to 0. So if the particle is present within a region, so then that condition is known as a orthonormal condition. We can know it as a orthonormal condition. Okay, if the particle is not present, then the probability amplitude is equals to 0, then that function is known as a orthogonal condition. That condition is known as a orthogonal condition. Okay, so this is about the total Schrodinger time independent wave equation, as well as the which one, the physical significance of the Schrodinger wave equation. Okay, so and this physical significance of Schrodinger wave equation is also known as a Born's interpretation. Okay, so this is all about the Schrodinger wave equation. If you like the video, share it and subscribe it. Thank you guys.